My people, 6 months, just 6 months. That's all it took for this woman to throw in the towel, to give up her marriage after spending time preparing for a wedding, inviting guests, spending all her resources. After calling family and friends together, all it took for her to call it quits is just 6 months. Today, guys, the internet is awash, completely filled up with news of this kind. People are easily giving up on marriages, on long-term relationships, on emotional and psychological commitment with their significant other, with their spouses, and the trend seems not to be coming down. The question now is marriage becoming antiquated, outdated? Is it going out of use? Has it run its full course of relevance? Has marriage become rusty and dysfunctional because of the new pattern of life that we are evolved in? As we are contemplating this, guys, it brings into the foreplay again Edochie's dilemma. A marriage of 17 years and more is under a very serious threat because her husband, for one reason or another, has taken it upon himself to inflict upon her a condition that is very difficult for her to swallow. The influx of opinions, ideas and suggestions are literally overwhelming. But guys, let us look at it objectively. To do this or not to do this is not actually the factor here. The relevant factor here is to look into the dynamics and understand what is motivating and what is generating the situation on hand. Because the moment one understands the causative factor, symptom becomes very, very easy to handle. Why is there this exponential rise in divorce rates, in breakups, to the point that it becomes like a badge of honor? Women take pride in discussing how they've divorced or how they've broken up with their significant other. It is almost like a kind of pride with which they discuss how they stuck out on their own and become single and then handle their life their own way. I am fully aware that most of these women are forced into taking these drastic decisions because of the emotional turmoil they've been subjected to, because of the abuse of one kind or another that must have precipitated their action. But guys, let's look at a point we've been taking for granted all this while. There is a huge weight of expectation concerning marriage in our society today. There is so much glamour, there is so much idolization about wedding, far much more than marriage. Most young ladies, most women have been groomed to expect and dream and fantasize and idolize their wedding day far much more than their married lives. They dream about wedding far much more than they dream about having good relationship with their husbands. So with this faulty mentality, with this faulty mindsets, when they find a man or a man finds them, they start dreaming about how wonderful their wedding day will be like in comparison to others. And they focus most of their attention into making it to happen. So guys, what happens after what they've dreamt about, what they've planned and plotted, what they focus all their attention, energy and resources on happens? What happens after the wonderful day of the wedding? It is after the glamorous wedding day that they begin to realize that they've been focusing on the wrong thing all this while. That marriage is not about the wedding day. Marriage is a very, very intimate, very, very challenging process that is very, very taxing. It taxes your patience, it taxes your emotions, it taxes your conditioning, it taxes your habits, it challenges everything. So venturing into such a very deep and intimate relationship and interaction is something that requires very, very deep assessment and understanding of yourself and your partner, especially in this our time. For the singles in our midst, when you agree to share your life with somebody, please understand that the dynamics that started when you people are courting is not likely going to be the same as when you people are married. The married ones in our midst can attest to this in the comment section. When you are courting, when you are dating, you are enjoying the initial excitement, the initial happiness, the initial surprises of discovery. You are in a new terrain, you don't know what is going to happen the next moment. As you discover things that are pleasurable and things that are not pleasurable. But the bottom line is that you are in an experimental state. Your body programming then is not such that will allow you to comfortably acclimatize to the situation at that time. What it is doing is exploration, and everybody likes exploration. Even when it is painful, so long as it is a new thing and there is suspense, there is this level of curiosity that is propelling the dynamics of dating and courtship. But guys, after this phase of courtship and dating, when marriage has been consummated, a new dynamics now unfolds. This dynamics is not built on curiosity again. You've tested all that you've dreamed of, hoped for, and expected. You are now in a kind of a settled dynamics where it is either you allow it, you are comfortable with it, or you are not. It is at this point that the facade of pretense and packagings that comes with the dating and courtship period fade and melts away, leaving you to be who you are by instinct, by reflex, and by programming and conditioning. Now guys, having entered into this intimate dynamics with another person from a different background with a different programming, conflicts are bound to come, disputes are bound to come, but how you handle it maturely determines the health and the lifespan of that union. When Edochie took a second wife, Edochie made it clear that in their family, the way she was brought up, they don't believe in polygamy. That it is not part of her programming, it is not part of her instincts, her reflex, her conditioning, and her upbringing. Now, the question is that enough reason for her to jettison her marriage? This is a question only May can answer. But the point I want to bring here is this. Even as so many people go about celebrating their divorce and their breakup, it should be understood that marriage is one of the most loving, most wonderful, and most beautiful things God has given to man. The opportunity to share your life with another, the opportunity to engage in such a visceral and emotional heartbeat level is a very wonderful opportunity. No matter how much social media may glamorize single motherhood, it is not always the best to live a life of solitary emotional isolation. It may look very glamorous on the surface, but life demands more than isolating yourself, building a wall around your heart. Life demands intimacy, it demands pain, the ups and downs of our emotions. You have to engage yourself, you have to enter into the deep of all that life has for you. The juice of emotion is all that we have to gain in this life. The juice of pleasure, the juice of pain, the juice of joy, the juice of sorrow. These are what life demands and what life gives as we move on. So my people, isolating oneself just because you're afraid of your heart being broken or being taken advantage of in the institution of marriage is not always the best. Whatever anyone does, it is important, very important that you engage in things that will tug your heart and try to bring out the emotions of life that are bottled up in there. It doesn't have to be marriage. It can be a deeper relationship with your children, your job, your passion, or your God. I'm not saying we should agree to the idea of accepting abuse, physical, emotional, and psychological abuse, all in the name of getting involved in a relationship or answering a wife or a husband, or just to belong to somebody. No, not at all. You deserve far better than that. What is uncomfortable in this time of our day is the fact that people enter into marriage without proper understanding, without proper adjustment, and they take the next flight out the moment they experience any kind of bump on the road. Because nobody is perfect, can we learn to create an enabling heart, a more accommodating heart to the faults of another? Let's not allow marital bumps or frictions to degenerate to the point of creating a separation or a divorce. Frictions are necessary for fine-tuning, for sharpening, and for perfecting a personality. So guys, let's not join this popular trend of jumping out of the marital ship the moment there is a turbulence in the wave. The wave of marriage is not an easy wave. Edochie is giving us a classic example. So far, she has not taken any unnecessary decision. She did not jump out of the marriage because her husband cheated on her. She did not jump out of the marriage because her husband did not only cheat on her but came to the public space and advertised it. No, she did not. She took her time, she comported herself, she considered all the pros and cons, she took steps that are not irrational, that are not impulsive. Why? Because this woman is grounded emotionally. She is emotionally wise. She took her steps accordingly without anybody hearing from her speaking out of place. If her husband is expecting her to shout and cry and rant on the public space, he is disappointed. If her friends and her enemies are expecting her to look so depressed, morose, and angry, they were disappointed. If they were expecting her to pack her things at the first instance of the betrayal trend, to pack all her things and leave her husband's house, they were all disappointed. So for a woman to, just for a period of 6 months, to pack all her things and run away from her marriage is not speaking well of her at all. To me, this action of hers is creating a huge question mark on her sense of judgment. How can you pack your things and run away just after 6 months of marriage? That means you did not assess the man you entered into marriage with. So guys, I'm making this video just to let everybody know that it is not a badge of honor. It is not a thing of pride to jump out of your marriage just because you feel like your peace or your whims or your desires are not met. At the same time, it would be too presumptuous of me to categorically write her decision off, in the sense that I don't know the context or what propelled her to take the decision she took. Maybe the man is a ritual killer, or sexually he enjoys only men like him, or there's a dangerous secret the man has been keeping from her she just found out and she could not accept or condone it. That in itself is a justifiable reason for her to take the drastic decision she took. But if it is for reasons like interpersonal dynamics that can easily be resolved, then I think it is a childish and immature decision. I am making this guess because lady in question brought her situation into the public space, advertising or rather posting the van where she loaded all her properties and left for a different rented apartment without giving us details as to the reason why she left her marriage after 6 months. I picked her short unexplained story because I don't want us to see it as a thing of pride, a thing of joy, a thing of achievement and celebration to leave your matrimonial homes at any slight friction. If you are going to post that you left your matrimonial home, please do the public the small service of telling us the reason you took such a drastic decision. I just pray it is not because she wants to appear or trend on social media. I know there are so many people that have genuine reason, emergency reason, in fact a desperate reason to leave their marriage. And them taking such decision is a welcome development. In fact, it is a great achievement. But on the other hand, let it not look like one person or one bad egg is making the whole basket of eggs look so bad. Guys, so far, nobody has heard what Edochie said against her husband. The only thing she said was, "My God will judge you people." And from all indication, it is obvious that her God of justice has judged in her favor. So, my advice to all the young couples out there is that while we are applauding, respecting, and approving of the way Edochie is handling her marriage, it is also very important that we borrow a leaf from her and learn from her pattern. She did not take any impulsive decision of any type. She assessed the situation and distanced herself when she found out that the relationship is becoming a kind of toxic. And then she positioned herself in a way that she sent her message across clearly and crystally, without any excessive drama, without any unnecessary utterances, without any hyperinflation of emotion, without any expression or exchange of vulgar words. She sent her message across cleanly, classically, elegantly, as a lady should. So guys, let's learn from her and not take any drastic decision by abandoning our marriage at the slightest turbulence. There is always a better way to handle situations, and Edochie has shown us in her way that there is. Guys, I'm stopping here for now. Please pardon me for making this video this long. I will try not to make the subsequent ones this long. Thank you for patiently staying with me to this end. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you've not subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. Press the notification bell so that you'll be notified anytime I post a new video. Also, like and follow our G-Squatter page on Facebook for more. It's nice speaking with you guys. Do have a lovely day. Bye bye.